What's up, MetaNerdz? We're breaking down all 14 variants of the Droideka. Some are very subtle, while others get very abstract. The first ones we see stationed on the Lucrehulk, Sak-Ak, and later on the Great Grass Plains of Naboo, were called the P-Series Destroyer Droids. These would get replaced by the W-Series by the time of the Battle of Geonosis, which had all of its changes in the internals, with upgraded hardware to work out some bugs and make it all run a bit faster. Nothing crazy, just the normal advancements you would expect in a decade, but it shows that the design itself was near perfect for its role, with no major changes to the body, shielding, or weaponry. And of course, it was not slave to the main control computer like the original Series B1 droids. This was followed up by the Q-Series, which did have some slightly increased firepower, while also being able to fire longer before overheating, and slightly more powerful armor due to changes in the metal alloy that made up its body, giving it a slightly more bronze red color. Now the first real variant is the Grapple Droid, also known as the Melee Destroyer Droid. It was an early variant designed to rip up its enemies. Deployed during the invasion of Naboo in 32 BBY, a group of 3 guarded a Royal Naboo Security Forces pilot in the Theed Royal Palace. The Melee Destroyer Droid was more durable than the standard Droidekas, but was equipped with weaker shields. The Ultra Droideka was a larger variant that boosted significantly more powerful weapons, but required an enormous amount of energy to maintain its shields, which meant it often operated without its shields when other droids are available to provide protection. During the Clone Wars, Obi and Annie infiltrated a secret Separatist facility that was manufacturing the Ultra Droidekas, with their goal being to prevent the more widespread deployment against the Galactic Republic. The Mark II would cost about 1.5 times the normal one, at 31,435 credits. It was the same height but much wider, and moves the eyes down to have a triple blaster cannon and arms that could fire like normal blasters, or switch to fire ion bolts. An ion cannon firing droid unit is very rare, as it was the Republic that often used ion weaponry to take out droids, but this option would allow the Mark II to disable vehicles and more rapidly bring down shields. Like its predecessor, the Mark II was vulnerable while in motion, but when deployed it was functional as a turret. The Mark II was particularly effective against enemy artillery, as it could remain out of range before quickly moving up into the firing arc, disabling and/or destroying lightly armored vehicles, though it struggled against Plex troopers and was especially vulnerable while rolling. It was developed by Bactoid Combat Automata and their foundries on Hypori during the Clone Wars, but the droids were produced too late to significantly impact the war. Though during the Galactic Civil War, the Zan Consortium discovered some of these droids in the Hypori factory, which had attracted the interest of Jabba the Hutt.
I said nothing about backing down. We likely won't have that option. Droidekas are fast, very fast.
Tybrazan, the consortium's leader, assembled an invasion force after Uri Fen scouted the area, and they would land near the factory. They soon encountered Droideka Mark IIs, which immediately opened fire on them. Uri managed to reach the console and switch the droid production machines to manual, shutting these droids down. The Hutt cartel then sent Bossk and several soldiers to confront them, triggering the ground battle on Hypori between the consortium and cartel forces. Uri successfully reprogrammed the factories to produce droids for the consortium, turning the Droideka Mark II into a powerful asset for the consortium in their fight against the cartel on Hypori, and eventually helped them spread their influence to other planets. The Sniper Droideka was specifically designed for urban warfare, where it could easily remain concealed. Unlike standard Droideka models which featured dual blaster cannons, the Sniper was armed with a single heavy blaster rifle and did not include a deflector shield generator. Instead, the rounded plate used for rolling could fold down over its face, with a small slot for aiming and firing. By not having to power an energy shield, it could remain out in the field far longer, dedicating all of its energy to moving into position and delivering these deadly bolts. The armored plate was resistant to blaster fire, but only protected the droid's front, leaving its sides vulnerable. And although its rate of fire was slower, it delivered much more penetrating power. And equipped with a highly advanced targeting computer, the Sniper Droideka was extremely accurate and capable of speaking in both binary and basic. The Hunter-Seeker droid was an unconventional droid starfighter used by the Trade Federation for defensive purposes, primarily to protect C-9979 transports. Although it's quite different in everything from role to design, you can see where it was heavily inspired by the Droideka, and is seen as a type of variant. These droids were typically deployed in space in their wheel form, with their weapons concealed, and they would float in this state until an enemy approached, at which point they would unfold into attack mode. Although dangerous when operating in groups, Hunter-Seeker droids could be destroyed by a single shot from a standard starfighter laser cannon. The mercenary Vana Sage encountered Hunter-Seeker droids during her mission to Eos shortly before the Battle of Naboo, where they were used as observer droids, overseeing her tests of the new Scarab-class droid starfighter. After these tests were completed, and they got all the info they wanted, the Trade Federation hired mercenaries to kill Sage and deployed the droids to attack her. But she would successfully defend herself and continue to investigate the planet's factories. Many Hunter-Seekers were stationed at the Trade Federation mining installation, deployed via specialized dispensers. Some units were also used to protect Shu Mai's compound during the Battle of Felucia in 19 BBY. The Droideka Oppressor, also just called the Oppressor model, was a variant developed too late to be deployed during the Clone Wars. It was designed as a heavy artillery droid, and during the Galactic Civil War, it was repurposed by smugglers to safeguard their contraband. Like its predecessor, the Oppressor was equipped with 2 twin blaster cannons, but these versions were powerful enough to destroy anything not protected by a deflector shield. While Droideka Sentinels were an advanced variant of the Droideka, modified by smugglers to protect contraband. Like its predecessor, the Sentinel was equipped with 2 blaster cannons, but boasted enhanced firepower due to combat upgrades. During the Galactic Civil War, both the Empire and Rebel Alliance employed these droids for security purposes. To function as a stationary turret, Sentinels could be mounted on a Droideka platform by both Imperials and Rebels. These platforms were specially designed to support a single stationary Droideka, enabling it to function as a turret with a wide field of vision. And they provided additional energy to both the weapons and shielding, being able to integrate a Sentinel or Oppressor. The K3I buzzer droid was a modified, less powerful version of the Droideka, and used during the Galactic Civil War. Unlike its combat-oriented counterparts, this droid didn't have any shields or blasters, serving primarily in a reconnaissance role. The Rakwa utilized them on Station Gamma above Ord Mantell after the Battle of Yavin. And in 1 ABY, several spacers who ventured into Station Gamma encountered and destroyed multiple K3I buzzer droids. And I want to add at the end a kind of bonus, not technically a Droideka variant, but you can see the similarity, and I don't know when else I'll talk about this little guy. The Grenadier droids were small cylindrical units equipped with 4 crab-like legs, similar to those of the Droideka, and it was developed around the same time. These droids were armed with dual grenade launchers, enabling them to unleash a continuous barrage of explosives at enemy forces. Though they traded firepower for mobility, as they could not move and attack simultaneously, perhaps due to a combination of energy use or just the sheer recoil. When firing these weapons like this, they were rendered completely immobile. Due to this limitation, they were primarily used in support roles or on defense. During his mission to Mustafar to eliminate the Separatist Council, Darth Vader encountered Grenadier droids flanking an armored assault tank at the Kleger Core mining facility. So that's it for all the Droideka variants. Let me know what you think of them. If I happen to miss any, comment them down below, but I'm pretty sure this is it. My favorite is the Hunter-Seeker droid. I know it's barely a Droideka, but I love the fact that the roly-poly deathball design was abstracted and able to operate in space. If you made it this far, please hit that like button. It really is the best way to help me out. Subscribe to see more, and check out these videos, I'm sure you'll like them. But most important of all, remember, sometimes a droid design is so perfect, it makes you think galactic scale war is worth it. And the Force will be with you, always.